Shalom Israel first. I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakadash, the warrants to the apostles, Elder Millstone, peace salutation to the one third elect of Israel. And for this lesson, I want to title it they're gonna be chasing. Alright. And basically I was watching a video by Andrew Tate. It was like a YouTube short, or it was some type of short, but he was telling this one streamer, he was like, you can make yourself look good, lift weights, do this, that, and third. But if you don't have money, or status, women aren't really gonna find you attractive. All right. And it just goes to prove to you that, men and women are different. Women don't really look at beauty. That's why scripture says, the glory of a man is his woman, but the glory of a woman is her hair. All right. There's two different aspects. It's two different objectives. When basically dealing with when dealing with each other. A man could take a woman that has no status but looks good and has good traits about her. He'll take that any day of the week. But a woman, she's not gonna deal with a good looking man who's basically a bum. All right. But anywho, I looked up the word hypergamous because the elders and apostles brought this out. It says hypergamous refers to the practice of marrying or partnering with someone or higher social, economic, or mating status, commonly known as marrying up. Historically and socially, often describes women seeking men with higher earnings, education, or status. Those studies suggest modern mating patterns often mirror traditional, more eagle. I can't even say that. Or in some contexts, show little significant hypergamy. All right. So basically, marrying up. Women they choose up. So you got men in the world. You got the money, the status, and that's really what women look for. All right. The looks, it only gets you so far as a man. But soon when all that shit is all said and done, when this shit collapse, then who's the next up? All right. Because soon, the Lord, he's about to put a halt to all this shit. All right. Folly. This is Ecclesiastes 10:6. It says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. All right. So the rich are sitting in low place. Who are the rich? The hopeful elect. Why is that? Lord willing, that's us, because we possess this truth. And what the scriptures say, wisdom is more precious than rubies. All right. So possessing this truth is, this is a treasure. As it says in 1 John, I believe it's let me get that right quick. Nah, I'm thinking about a different one. 2 Corinthians 4 and start at 6. It says, for the Most High, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, has shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of the Most High in the face of Yahushua Mashiach. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels. So we possess this heavenly knowledge in this earthen vessel, this flesh, that the excellency of the power may be of the Most High and not of us. All right. So basically proving that this truth is a treasure. All right. And not many are going to receive it. That's why let's get that Isaiah 13:12. Isaiah 13:12, it says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right. So a man, an elect man, is going to be precious in the times to come. Because right now we in the age, I'm saying we in the age of folly. We're in the age of folly, and information, because information is going out like living waters. But folly is also at an all-time high too. You can go on the internet and just bullshit, doom scroll, the whole nine. And women, they're in la la land because everything's easy right now. You can bullshit. You know, everything's, pretty much functioning still. All right. But when it's all said and done, all the streaming shit, all the partying, the whole nine. This whole matrix, when this shit collapse, then what? Then what are these women going to be turning their attention to? They're going to be turning their attention to survival, because in the times to come, it's going to get fucking ugly out here. We're coming to a time like never before. All right. So a woman is going to seek a man of the Lord. You know why? Why is that? Because a man of the Lord is going to have stability. Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right. So wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. It's going to be what's going to keep you grounded, while all hell is breaking loose. Because you're going to have these celebrities, streamers, all these niggas that these women seek for now. These niggas are squares. I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna keep it a buck. These niggas is squares. All right. The only thing that makes them look so cool, blah, 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 is because they have money and they have status, and attention, So, of course, shit it's gonna be, I'm trying to think of the word. It's gonna be spotlighted, Everyone's gonna be looking, basically attention, for lack of better words. So I was trying to find, the correct way to say it. But anywho, let me go to this one scripture in the Apocrypha. Reasoning. I think it's in the same chapter. How does it go? There you go. Sirach 22:18. I started at 15, actually. No, 16. It says, as timber girt and bound together, and the building cannot be loose with shaking, so the heart that is established by advised counsel shall fear in no time. All right. So basically, that advised counsel is this truth. This wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding. All right. It's going to keep you stable, in the times to come. And that shaking is going to be, the calamities that's going to befall this place. And, the men of the Lord are going to be stable. Lord, when that's us, we're going to be stable. All right. It says, and a heart settled upon a thought of understanding is fair plastering on the wall of a gallery. It says, pale sat on a high place will never fall, will never stand against the wind. So a fearful heart and the imagination of a fool cannot stand against any fear. All right. Let me read this in the GNT. Damn. All right. This is Sirach 22. Sirach 22 and 16. All right. Sirach 22 and 16. It says, a wooden beam can be put into a building so firmly that an earthquake cannot shake it loose. A person can be trained to use reason and good sense so well that he keeps his head when a crisis. It's lucky that he keeps his head when a crisis comes. All right. And also, these people, they gonna be shook. All right. Because mind you, the only thing that's gonna get you through Jacob's trouble is the spirit of Yahweh Shemi outside. It don't matter how much experience you have in combat. It don't matter how much prepping you do. If you don't have the Lord by your side, you're fucked. All right, simple as that. That's why a man of the Lord is going to be so precious in that day. All right, because it's going to be known, whom the Lord's elect is. All right, prove that. Let's go to 2 Ezra 16 right quick. 2 Ezra 16 and start at 73. Straight to the point. It says, then shall it be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. All right, and then what does it say in Zechariah 13 chapter. Zechariah 13 and 9. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined. So we're going to be tried. All right. It says, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name and I will hear them. So we're going to call on Yahweh Bashmi outside and the Lord going to deliver us, But we got to believe that. We got to, we got to endure. It says, I will say it is my people and they shall say the Lord is my power, So ultimately, the Lord's going to make, he's going to make it known who his chosen are. All right. Let's get that right quick. The heathen shall envy thee. 2 Ezra 2 and 27, it says, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. All right. So in the times of Jacob's trouble, what does it say in Isaiah 65? My servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. So it's going to be a clear distinction who the Lord is dealing with and who he's not dealing with. All right. And these women are going to see that. All right. Because it's not going to matter how much money you got, how much clout and status, all the bullshit now, none of that shit's going to matter. Women are going to be seeking protection and survival. All right. So therefore, they're going to be cleaving to you, bros. So, as Elder Apostle Gabar says, be patient, be as that cold serpent, relax. All right. Because, it can get stressful. I'm going to say stressful sometimes, you just kind of, you be wanting some woman and shit, but it's like, damn, bro, these hoes, you be on a drought and shit, but like, we gotta be cool, all right? Because all that shit's gonna come in abundance. I remember Elder Kazak from GMS Mississippi. He made a video. He said, a lot of these women are gonna be running you down, and Lord willing, I might make a little post-production clip and add it to the end, because it was fire. It was like a couple years ago. But then reading on down, it says, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. All right, so, and that's gonna elevate the men of the Lord ultimately. All right, because none of this shit right now, we on the bottom. As I read, the rich sit in low place. All right, we on the bottom, but all that shit's about to be flipped. All right, and then these women they gonna see, who's winning, because ultimately women just want to win. Women are bandwagon. They hop on a bandwagon fast as fuck. All right, and that leads me to Isaiah 4 and 1. It says, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. All right, so they're gonna be seeking protection, and it's gonna be through, a man of the Lord. So, bros, we gotta stay patient, because soon these women gonna be running us down, Lord willing, probably elect. But this is Isaiah 22, or not Isaiah, it's like Sirach 22. I want to keep reading on down this one, and then I'll get another scripture and we'll close it out. It says, a mind, 17 verse, it says, a mind that thinks things, Salakia. A mind that thinks things thoroughly, Salakia. I can't even, Salak. A mind that thinks things through intelligently is like a firm wall finely decorated. Small stones on top of a wall will not stay put when the wind blows, and a person whose stupid ideas have made him timid will not be able to stand up to frightening situations. All right. And these people, they live in la la land, gross darkness. All right, and them stupid ideas, that's what these people think. Oh, let me prep, let me do combat, this that, and third, which nothing wrong with combat, but just know that shit ain't gonna save you. Cause hey, what you gonna do when that plague hit your ass, the disease hit you? Ain't no combating that, ain't no fighting that shit. It's you versus your immune system. And if the Lord wants you to lose, you're gonna lose, nigga. But let me get Isaiah 30. Isaiah 32. This is Isaiah 32. Isaiah 32 and 2. It says, and a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest. All right, and that's the calamities, It says, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So in the dry, imagine you in a desert, and you see a river, you thirsty as hell. That's what these women gonna be thirsty. All right, they're gonna be trying to drink of that water. It says, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. It's hot as fuck. You need you need some shade, and boom, you right there. They gonna be running to you, brother. All right. And also in that time, we gonna have to pick up the litter. We gonna be denying hoes left and right. All right, just like how they deny us. You shoot your shot at the bitch, and that motherfucker bouncing on the rim. The bitch she ain't gonna answer, or she ain't seen it. Well, guess what? In that day, all the hoes that that rejected you or left you, they gonna be spinning back. They gonna try to spin back, and guess what? You gonna be able to be like, nah, bitch. Stiff arm these hoes, bro. And that's what it is. It's getting to that point. It's like fuck these people. All right, but we got to keep our focus on the Lord, and the Lord, He gonna take care of the rest. So with that, Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. Well said. Want to give all praise, glory, honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakodash. Till next time, shalom.